And so here we are. It is a new year, which means a new timesheet. Last year's I did not commentate. However, I am commentating this year. We have webcam as well. 2025 for time trials for me was actually quite dormant. However, I got more PBs than I thought I did, somehow. I had a slight rush towards the end of the year just because I knew this timesheet was coming. But other than that, it was very dormant for me. So yeah, we'll just go over everything and my goals today. Kicking things off with LC. Didn't improve it over the past year. No plans to this year, although this will be a 2027 track for me. I do want to get a good time here. I would love to be on the white tops. I'm not sure if I will get that, but I still want a decent time. When I do come back to this, I will be going for a 109 and probably a mid 109. It's about a second and a half, really, give or take. I need to improve, but I think I can. My alignment's terrible. I'm very slow with getting my wheelies out and my MTs because of trying to get better alignments. So there is a lot of time left on the table here that I definitely can get with a bit more practice and some more runs. Overall though, pretty decent. Definitely can get more though. So that won't be this year, that'll at least be next year, unless I get time with my other goals this year, because my goals this year are quite big, and they'll be quite surprising as well. Now then, Moo Meadows. The first thing you'll notice is the me name. So this, at the moment, is kind of like a legacy time. You can see it was set back in 2023, and in 2023 I was going by a different preferred name. I was going by Grace, which is actually my middle name now. However, I have had like this little nickname Gracie because it worked better with the username I had at the time. So that's kind of just like my me name now, or at that point. This time was to get the gold star, sorry. And it was a pain in the ass, so I never have come back to this track ever since. And I won't be this year as well. I would like to learn the low trick, but honestly, just TTing this track was so frustrating. Like, I remember it genuinely being awful. I think it took me over a month to get the gold star. It's one of the hardest I've got. But I didn't do like a full month grind. But I remember I literally rage quit, and I've not rage quit on a track yet, bar this one. So I remember it being very hard to do. So probably won't be a while until I do it. But when I do come back to this track, it will 100% be with 3 for 3 low trick. That's for sure. It's still lower, like a 118 is still a decent time though, so I am happy with it. I was quite proud of it and celebrated a lot when I first got that though, that's for sure. Mushroom Gorge, Mushy George, if you know, you know. Once again, didn't improve over the past year. Like I say, it was a very dormant year for me. I didn't really improve on many tracks. And once again, no plans. I just have way too big plans on other tracks especially that I haven't time trialed yet. Although I definitely want to come back to this very soon. This may end up being like a track I use to like break up the monotony of other tracks. And learning like bigger strats that maybe if I'm struggling with, not making much inroads in. The main areas of time loss here is the gap cut, that's the main one, and the mushrooms. Don't quite understand mushroom physics fully just yet. It honestly feels like sometimes, like especially on this mushroom where like you just get no air and you just fall and it's like an instant reset. Like I don't quite understand that. I do want empty here. I can't get 2 empties to work. I've tried it multiple times. I just get sent really wide and I never get the slip. So I actually lose time going for it. So that's why I didn't. If I can learn that though, that's like another another time saving area. But like getting better gap cuts. Like I cut way more off, and then the task cut at the end. Probably won't do that straight away, but that's something I do want to learn. Double MT right here, I can gain time on, and then just getting better with the mushrooms. I think that is probably where the majority of the time save is, as well as just general consistency on the regular driving. Currently, I'm not planning to learn outside drift bike strats. I think the only one on the leaderboard right now is Flambam, who has a world record. I'm pretty sure he might be the only one that's still tried it. I'm not quite sure on that though, so don't quote me on that. And that is something I would like to learn, but maybe not straight away. Toads, haven't improved it the past year, but I do want to come back to this track this year. Because I recently learned, well, I've had a random discovery on a Wiimmfi Streets episode where I did the low. And I think I know how the low works now. I think it's a hot trick. I'm not fully sure, but that's at least how it felt at the time. So, I think that's basically really all it is. And I could do again a better time here anyway. I could do again way more consistent with the TF cut. Like, I made it once over the course of 15 episodes of the Wiimmfi Streets. And a lot of the time I didn't even go for it because I knew I was inconsistent at it. I think I could probably save over a second here because if I'm better on lap 1, then I make this cycle right here with the stompers. And that will gain me a lot of time. And like getting like wheelies out, getting better landings, you know, just general sort of things. For whatever reason, wheelies I'm really struggling with more lately as well. And like getting like actual POW, getting POWs properly as well. Like that seems to be something I'm struggling with. It's like my inputs aren't registering half of the time, and I'm getting way more side tricks, like especially left side tricks. So I'm not sure if my controller's having issues, but I was always struggling a little bit on this track. This track is actually so hard to TT, like it's actually really underrated. I think it's one of the harder tracks to TT. Like it's not one of the hardest, but it's certainly up there because there's just so much. Like right here with all the boxes, and for whatever reason, it just seems like you can never complete runs. Missed empty right there as well, unfortunately. But yeah, this was just gonna get a decent time, or an okay time, sorry, with the 3 for 3 of the TF Cup. So I definitely could do some damage here over the course of next year. It's not going to be something I do straight away. I have bigger goals. So if I don't get to it this year, that's fine. But yeah, I would ideally love to get a much better time on Toad's Factory. Now then, MC Wii. I believe based on last time this is an improvement, even though it wasn't technically 2025. I changed the shroom strat that I was doing here. I used to do 3-0-0 like everyone else does. I like the world record. However, I started to get cautious over the chain chomp pace lock on lap 3, which I think I did hit a few times as well. So now I'm doing, I think this is 2-0-1, I'm pretty sure, which is fine. It just makes it a little bit better. It's not like fully, but like I will still hit it at some point. No plans to improve this year, but I will definitely come around to this again 2027. I actually love the spear tracks. The spear tracks are so nice to play. Spear's one of the best vehicles to me, in like my personal opinion, in terms of like handling, and I just find it so fun to play. It's literally this and then mock bike, ironically, that are my top two to play, which are like completely different to each other as well. However, yeah, this is a track that I definitely want to come back to next year. Definitely won't this year though. Even if I get time, I'll focus on other tracks. I think this is probably one that I'm getting more closer to my limit before I learn new strats as well. I'm gonna need to learn the ramp strat very soon, or maybe I'm not close to my limit. It seems like I am, but like I've not done a full grind, like a month grind or anything. So 123 is still a very good time. I'd love a 122 though. So not yet though, not this year, but maybe next year. Coconut Mall, a track I haven't improved once again, but a track I will be improving hopefully this year. I kind of realised I have a lot of potential here, or at least that's how it seems at the moment, because this was a gold star run where I do very old strats, like 08 strats I'm pretty sure, or at least not far off. And yeah, like this time is awful, and it's still like an okay time digit. So I want to overhaul this track this year. I want to learn the Wiimmfi tricks, which I had learned on Dolphin a couple of years ago with like a generic controller. Yeah, I haven't been able to work out on Classic just yet. A lot of my issues with strats on this track is going to be alignments. That is going to be the biggest challenge, because obviously I want to go up the other escalator here, the one on the right. That will save me a decent amount of time. Wiimmfi tricks which require a precise alignment out of that turn, as well, and then obviously just general alignment stuff. Like I struggle a lot with general alignments, so that is something that I need to fix. However, like this time, god awful. It's a god awful in terms of how it looks. The time digits seem pretty decent. They're not far off of where I want to be. I want at least a 156. So I think I can definitely do that over the course of the next year. Probably not get the 156 just yet, but I want to make heavier inroads, like a 157. I think would still be pretty decent. Probably whilst I have time, just want to say I have no glitch times, but I'm not going for any glitches this year unless I have time to do so. So I was pretty close there, but yeah, like I got a 2-minute time. I'm only 3 seconds off. With learning new strats and getting generally better at the track, I think that is something that I can definitely do over the course of the next year. By the power of editing magic, this should all sync right. DK Summit. I did get a time on this track this year. This is a new entry onto the timesheet, and I got the gold star. This was a huge surprise. I had tried to get it using only the single last year, and I was losing a second just by not doing it per lap. So I kind of gave up quite quickly, and then I was just TTing just to get a time on this track, and I randomly just got the gold star. So I'm actually quite happy with this run. I don't think I'm going to work on this year. The only thing I want to learn is the double. So if I do work on this year, it will just be to learn the double. I had a bad run there because of the Shy Guys. But not sure if, like, it's fine, you know, like, I got all I wanted out of the track at the time. I definitely want to get a better time, of course, but it's not something I'm too concerned about like this year. That wall hit though, I forgot about. A lot of these I watched when I put this together, but I don't really remember anything. Nothing too major anyway. This track is one of the hardest to complete a run on, just because of how much tech there is. So yeah, it takes a while. I got dropped there because I didn't get the wheelie input that I'd pressed down on, I'm pretty sure. Pretty common now, unfortunately. Bad turn there as well. Nice strat play there though, to try and recover a little bit of time. At this point, you know, it's not going too well, but it's going okay enough. Can't remember if I was racing it at the time. I can't remember if I was racing the expert, CTGP expert stuff goes. Might have been. I can't remember. But yeah, decent final turn to end on. This track is one where I generally don't know like a time goal because I don't really know whereabouts I can be just yet. But when I do come back to this, it is going to be learning the double, 100%. My favourite track? Totally. Not really. It's a god-awful track. Gold Mine. I did improve this just to get a better time because I was like, I can't leave that time. It was so bad. However, no plans this year or next. To be honest, this may go down as a legacy time for me, like a time I just never improve. Because I hate this track so much. Like, this is the worst track for me that they've ever made, in my opinion, over the whole franchise. And I don't think there's anything that can redeem it. Like, unless you were to just change the entire layout. Yeah, I just don't like it at all. But yeah, like I say, I only improved it because the time looked so bad that I had from last year. Well, 2024, sorry now. I am actually recording this on New Year's, by the way, so that's kind of why I'm throwing off a bit. But yeah, it just looks so bad that I just didn't really want to keep it in the year. I'm pretty sure I get a wall bounce here, a slight wall bounce, not exactly ideal, not perfect, but it's still a wall bounce of some capacity, and I just played it safe there because I lost a lot of runs there up until this point, and missed empty. But like I say, I don't really care. Nice backup strat there to do the 2 MTs, which I think you're supposed to do anyway, but I just could never get out. If I were to ever come back to this track, it would literally be just to improve on just general driving strats, and then to do like turn skips. But to be honest, I think genuinely speaking, I think the next time I'm going to come back to this track is going to be to do the glitch. To be honest, the glitch is something I am interested in learning. So I think honestly, that's probably what I'm going to do next on this track. If I do come back to it in any capacity, no glitch though. I'm kind of done with for the time being. So yeah, 155.6. That's okay by me. Daisy Circuit. No plan to improve this track again this year, and I didn't improve over last year. Probably a 2027 track for me. I definitely want to come back here and just overall general refinements. I think this may have been a gold star one again. Not fully sure. Missed MT already. This timesheet is very rough around the edges. So a lot of tracks I'm not working on this year, that would be like the first thing ready for next year, is general consistency. And if I am working on it this year, that is the plan, general consistency and learning better strats. There's not really much to say on this track, to be honest. It's a mod bike track. I wouldn't be opposed to trying Flame Runner, because I know some people prefer it, but I'd rather just use I'd rather use mod bike because I prefer bike in general over Flame Runner. That being said though, wouldn't exactly be fully opposed to the idea. The main areas of improvement here though are just general alignments, and just getting more consistent with MTs and wheelies and such. But yeah, it's an okay time. There's not really much to say here, to be completely honest. Probably, I wouldn't even say it's my favourite mod bike track. I'd say it's like a third, probably, to be completely honest. It's only better than DK Mountain at the moment, but you know, who knows, maybe there'll be another mod bike track later down the line that shows up as well. We shall see. Yeah, not really much to say about that track, to be completely honest. I just don't plan on improving it over the course of the next year. Now this one, if you look in the bottom right, or the bottom left, sorry, no time set. I set like a 1 try on the tracks I haven't got time on, just to show something. But I don't consider them PBs. And this is the first one, Cooper Cave, and I am going to be getting time on this track this year. I am going to be going for certain strats though, I'm not going to go for everything. And this run kind of shows them. So I won't be doing the shroomless, it's way too inconsistent, and I just need to get time right now. But doing the shroom there, like you can see right there, that was so sketch, and I lost many runs trying to do this at the time. I want to go for the wraparound there. I never get it in this run, but I think I got close. And I try and go for it all the time online. It's one of my favourite strats, if not my favourite. But yeah, doing the shroom there, I found whilst I was producing like a run for this, was way better than doing it at the end. I found myself just preferring it, so that is my plan. Over the course of this year, I want to get a decent time. I'm not quite sure right now what a decent time would look like or what it would be, but as long as it looks clean and I know what I'm doing. This is a track I know a lot of the strats on, and the only reason I ain't doing the shroomless is because it's just a human RNG. You know, there's no consistent way of actually going for that, so you know, is what it is, unfortunately. So I would rather play it safe this year to get a time, and then maybe next year I go for a shroomless cut time and use the shroom here. Although I would have to find a better way of ending the lap because it's just way too. It's just stupid. To be honest, top and bottom of it, it's just way too dumb of an ending. This, you can see, like, I'm getting sidetracked. Like, I can tell you now, I haven't got the controller, like, actually to show because I didn't get ready. But I was pressing up on the D-pad every single time. My finger's only hovering over up, and I'm just getting left side tracks for days. And I'm getting it on other tracks as well, unfortunately. And it just costs you so much. Like, a lot of strats. Okay, you see that there. Like, I can got the wraparound there. A lot of strats require. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. At this point, I gave up. I was like, I'm so dumb. Just complete the run. But a lot of strats require up or down tricks. A lot of them don't. Like, other than like Coconut Malt, really, with the Wiimmfi tricks, there's not many that require side tricks specifically. And a lot of strats actually don't work because of side if you get sidetracked. So that's something that I need to try and iron out. Maybe do a run with it and like assess the input viewer using auto TT recorder to see maybe what's going on. Anyway, Maple Treeway. Just an okay time. Like, it actually, no, this is trash if I remember rightly. I'm not doing the regular cut because of alignments, and that's what's costing me so much time here. I think I'm like 10 seconds off the record on this at the moment. I don't know if I'll get around to it this year. I have no reason to, so to speak, but I would like to. If I get around to it, hooray. If not, it's next year. A major project next year. Yeah, I just need to learn that cut properly. I know the rest of the driving. I need to get more precise at it though. But yeah, I could do with just learning the mainstream cut and just getting better with the alignment of it. Like, I obviously know how the cut works, and I know what to do after the shroom. It's literally just the actual alignment. Like, I literally lost like 10 runs in a row, simply because I didn't get the right alignment off the start for the cut. And at that point, I was just like, you know what, I just want to get a decent run. Like, I want to get a run for the timesheet, you know, like, I don't really care too much. Like, just do, like, a regular shroom just on the straight to get the chain wheelie. I could get the gold star with that still, so, because I'm driving decently, so, you know, it didn't really matter in the end. This track, though, I actually think this track isn't as people seem to think it is. Like, a lot of people seem to think it's like a custom track kind of level of jank. I don't think it is. Like, yeah, like, there's some inconsistencies on some strats that are like just look based, but a lot of tracks are like that anyway. Like, it's not a crazy thing in this game. There is definitely some more jank than other tracks, but like, come on, like, it's not that big of a deal, you know. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'll get around to this year. I would like to shave off a few seconds if I do, but it's definitely going to be by the end of 2027. It all really depends. If actually, I'm more than 10 seconds off. I'm 13 seconds off. I'm pretty sure the world record is a 2:12 right now. Maybe a 2:13. But yeah, I'm over 10 seconds off. That's not good enough by any stretch of the imagination. GV, Grumble Volcano. This is not a no glitch time, this is a rock hop time, because I wanted to get the gold star. So yeah, I did a rock hop time, and then I improved this for last year's timesheet, which didn't really end up mattering, to be honest. I wanted to get a better respawn, which I didn't. This year, not sure if I'm going to go for rock hop, to be completely honest. May do. Because I would like to get a better rock hop time, get more consistent with it so I can do it online, but it's not really a big deal. The main thing really is doing the respawn, which I'm okay at. I could probably do it practicing it more, but to be fair, I think a lot of the time it's because it's 100cc and it's way more precise. My main focus this year here though, because I want to be TTing this track this year, I want to get a no glitch time. And I'm not sure what shroom strat I'm going to do. Whether it's like the old one they used to do, or the new like test shroom that's like right here. I'm gonna be honest, the task one looks easier. I've tried the old one a few times on and off, and I can just not gel with it at all. This lap 3 is awful, by the way. Like that slip kind of was okay, but I still lost a ton of time. Could do with learning that bit as well. I know it's like a drift trick, and then when you land, you drift a little bit as well, and then wheelie or something. But I just don't know how it works. A lot of these tracks are just general like alignment and consistency things that I need to get down. But yeah, like I didn't get the boost, which is what I was trying to get, and then I didn't get it. I was like, you know what, I don't care at this point. Just get me a run. I think I did keep going for it, but then I never got a run that was close enough. So unfortunate. If I do rock up, that is what I need. But if not, I probably won't even show that next year. Dry Ruins, one of my favourite tracks. Arguably my favourite track at the moment, but we'll see when we get next year. No plans this year. This is the track I will come back to, definitely for a full grind if I have time to, because I want to get a monster time here. I think this is a track, I can't do it yet, but like super long term, I'd love to get a world record on this track. I would be perfectly fine with being just a DDR specialist, if it meant getting a world record on this track. I have a long way to go though. I don't do the sand hop, I don't do the ultra shortcut, I don't do like the ending on near the bats. However, it's humble beginnings. We can definitely do it. I think with like a month, maybe more, I can do it. And to be fair, I only set this run in the first place because I wanted a more clean run with the current strats I was doing. I wanted to try to optimize my current strats. Didn't achieve that, so that would probably be the first thing I do maybe, or at the very least I'd like add the Santa hop in and keep just doing 1-1-1 shroom strat before I do the ultra shroom. But we shall see for that. That's more than likely not going to be this year, if I'm completely honest, because I just have such grand ambitions on other tracks that are such a learning curve that that this is probably going to be next year. At the very least, if I do work on this year, I would love to get just a more cleaner run with the current strats. But to be honest, I'm not really sure if that's going to happen, because like I say, I've just got much bigger ambitions on other tracks that this is probably just, I'm not going to probably get around to it. At least with like LC, like it's not going to take long. It's not much of a big grind, so like that could be like a day project, you know, kind of thing. Like, this is a monster grind when I get to it. So probably 2027. Another track with no time. Moonview. Shouts to Chaos, Havoc, and Tomfoolery. I want to get a time on this track. I think I could get a decent one. I'm not sure how good it will be, but I just want to get a time on the board here. Obviously, this is a pretty easy track to really know. The only strat really that I think would be difficult would be drift storage, but I ain't going for that anytime soon anyway. This track is more just about knowing the cycles and doing the best strats knowing those cycles. So in this run, I was playing around with strategy, the shroom strat, so I used the shroom on lap 1 to beat the truck before the boost panels, so I didn't get squished, and then I'm using, I think, 2 shrooms on this lap, but I'm playing it super safe. Like, you can tell, like, this isn't an actual time trial. Yeah, just use both shrooms there. And that may not end up happening when I go to time trial this, because I think there might be a faster pace on this. It may have to be like a 1-1-1 or something. I'm not fully sure just yet, but yeah, I just got end with like a no shroom run. Try to go for the left side trick there, but unfortunately didn't get it. Had a bit of a bad alignment, so I don't know if I even went for it. Ironically, a side trick could have been ideal there, but I didn't get it, of course. It was just typical stuff, really. Yeah, the pace there is a bit sketch. If I'm on a faster pace though, I think that's fine. Hopping over that boost panel would also be costly a natural run. And then here I know I have to like realign to finish the run. So there are a few things I already know of. Actually changing the shroom strat there, I don't think will make a difference because it's already past the final shroom. So probably just stick with 1-2-0 for that if it works for me. Now, BC Wii. Where do we begin with good old BC Wii? Sorry about that, I'll have to edit that out, that cough. If you have watched any episode of the Wiimmfi Streets, you know how unlucky I am on this track. This track has, for some reason, got it in for me. I finally got that race win in the penultimate episode of the Wiimmfi Streets. But other than that, you know, my luck on this track is horrendous. However, I have to say, I absolutely love this track. Could genuinely become one of my favorites, if not my favorite. Out of all seriousness, like the whole like BC Wii curse thing, it did start off as a meme, like oh I'm just BC Wii, you know. And then it got more serious towards like when I was getting like times like actually where like races where I could have won, and then it just kind of became this whole thing where like I think playing this track online rekindled my love for this track, because I didn't really think much of the track before Wiimmfi Streets. I used to love this track obviously as a kid, but like you know, the more like I played it, the more I was like, hey, it's kind of okay, you know, like it's just air. A lot of jank is on this track as well. Like there's reject road really where there shouldn't be reject road, and then there's no reject road in spots where there should be some, and the half pipes are always jank. I think I've lost so many runs because of the half pipes and reject roads. Like so many races I've lost because of just that, as well as just general battle. Like I actually DC'd on this track. I DC'd around this very part whilst I had a shroom in first and a bit of a breakaway. Like I was set for anything, and then I disconnect from the lobby. It was so frustrating and unlucky, but yeah, I would love to get a good time around here. This is another track though that is so hard to complete a run on, so it's going to take a while. I'm not sure if it's going to be my first one, but this is this is a big project for me this year. I want to get a very good time on this track. And then we'll see whereabouts we are. I don't know what that quite looks like. I think this one is 10 seconds off. Yeah, it's 10 seconds off of Enmead's goal of a 220. If I can get like a 223, or maybe even just a 225, I think I would be okay with that. I think I would walk away from the year feeling pretty happy with that time. But, you know, we shall see what happens over the coming year there. Rainbow Road. I don't really have any plans to TT this year. However, I may change that. So I'm unsure, because I would love to get a very good time around here. On bike, at the moment. May switch over to Kart. For just general, but a decent bike time would be okay. And I know there's a lot of areas I can improve on this. I mean, case in point right there, doing the shroomless as well. So, you know, there is so many areas that I can improve on this track that I already know and already am able to do. So, this is the kind of track that I think I could probably grind out for like a month if I get time. But honestly, I'm not quite sure just yet if I will. I have other tracks that I think could vastly do with me improving them in the meantime. But that being said, like, you know, I could improve this track an awful lot. Just generally. Like, I could really knuckle down on this. And I would have an absolute whale of a time. Like, when... This is the thing, like, I never got to show it on Wiimmfi Streets, and I certainly don't show it in this one either. But when I'm in my flow state on this track, when I am, like, fully locked in, I can perform really well here. Like, before Wiimmfi Streets, when I would do worldwides before I had a capture card, so I couldn't record them either, there were times I would come away from this track and I would be like, I don't care that I was at the back because I had a bad lap one. I drove lap 2 and 3 to the best of my fucking ability, and I would literally like I'd be happy with dead last as long as I drove this track really well, and I'd be proud of it still. So I definitely know I can drive well here, and I definitely want to. And this is one of those tracks that kind of highlights something. Over my whole timesheet, and you may have already noticed, there are tracks where I'm at a decent level, like genuinely decent level. Like, I definitely have potential in this game. I don't know if it's worldwide tops level, I don't know if it's world record level, I would love to get both, but maybe it's not up there, I don't know yet. But I definitely have some decent potential on this game, and there are then tracks that show that, and then there are tracks that really don't. Like, it looks like a different person has driven it. And this one's kind of in the middle at the moment, but like you'll see later on, especially, that there are tracks that I desperately need to get better at. And just to have like a timesheet that actually looks like my own. And I think Rainbow Road is probably the start of that. On tracks I've already got times on in general, that being said. Not tracks I need to time trial this year, but you'll see why soon. Anyway, on to the retros. Love some retros. We're gonna start off with Peachiest Peach Beach, GCN Peach Beach, the duck track. No plans to improve this year. Like LC though, it will be like one of those like kind of tracks to break up the monotony if need be. I know where I can already improve because I realized I'm doing the shroom wrong on that one. So already I can work along that, and the better I get, the quicker I get, the quicker the run will be. I know it sounds so stupid, that sounds like it's so obvious, but there is a cycle to hit, and you have to hit on lap 1. And so the world record does the 2 shrooms that I just did on lap 2 on lap 3, and that is faster, so I need to get better at just general driving. The quicker that I get my run, the more time save that will come because of that, because I'll be able to do the shrooms different. It's kind of stating the obvious in a way, I suppose, but that is just how it works really. With cycle-based tracks, I could say the same thing about Moonview. You know, the cycles will be much better in my favor if I'm quicker over the course of the run. I have no idea where this run came from. Just being completely honest, I actually don't even remember TTing this. Over the past year, I thought my time was still as old as Moon's. Like I thought it was still 2023 time, but it's not. I have no plans to TT this year. I tried it, obviously thinking I would have to prove it, and I just had an awful time. So I have no plans. I also have bigger goals to work on than Yoshi Falls. To be honest, I think this is probably the gold miners be one of those tracks I probably won't TT for at least a very long time, at least a good few years. There's just generally no real point in me TTing this, if I'm honest. However, that being said, it would be nice to get the sub-minute time on here. Long way off though. Long way off on the second shortest track in the game. So, probably is not going to happen. At least not for a long time. But, yep, improved it, but won't be coming back here. This time, during the Catgirl Me era, I am actually surprised I've had this time for this long, because when I first set this, I was supposed to improve this time at the end of that year. I was meant to improve this at the end of 2024, and then I never got around to it. And then obviously I didn't improve it over the course of last year either. I think I will come back to this year though. I think I will come back to this at the end of the year, like I kind of had told myself I would do in 2024. I will come back at the end of 2026, and we'll just see what we get, because this track is one where it's all about really just soft drifts. add delay drifts. And so this is a kind of track where as I improve in the game, I will be able to get a better time over this track, even if I'm not playing this track. Even if I'm not grinding this track out, other tracks will help me with this. And so as a result, I definitely think I could get a very good time here. I'm already on a 55, I think a 53 at the very least is possible. So we shall see what comes on this track. I hope to get round to this track over the course of 2026. Raceway, as we all know, nothing matters till you cross that finish line online. I didn't improve it over the past year, and no plans this year either. No, the case in point with a lot of these tracks, I feel like I'm literally just repeating myself. There is no point in me focusing on this track this year when I have bigger goals and tracks that need my attention a lot more. When your time is limited, and this is something that Emid has mentioned multiple times, you have to be way more precise and picky with how you use your free time. And coming into this year, I don't see much point on me working on tracks that I'm decent at or half decent at without actually having like a major learning curve. When I have tracks like BCW and Cooper Cape, for instance, where I should have a time on really, but just don't, and other tracks that I can learn some, like time I could be spending on, or time I would be spending on this track, I could be using to learn the DK Summit Double, for instance, which is a strat that would benefit me more in the long run. So I genuinely don't really see much point. Like Peach Beach, you know, like LC, if I am to come back to this, it's just to break up monotony of other tracks. And if I get a PB, I get a PB, you know, like it's pretty, like, doesn't really matter. If I complete all my goals, like, within, like, the first half of the year, or I have, like, some decent amount of time to work on other tracks, like, for sure, I would probably come back to this as one of the first. But at the moment, with the goals I have, I think they're too big, and they're going to take too long for me to actually focus on. So as a result, probably not going to be coming back to this year, but that's okay, you know. This will be something I definitely look at next year. I know that I think Mockbike has best known splits on Raceway. It's very close though, so I may switch to Mockbike as well, just because I find it a lot more fun. Sugarland, we do not say hi to the Turn 1 Penguin this time. This track I can get a okay time on, I'm pretty sure. My G is one of my favourite vehicles as well, ironically. It's not better than Flame Runner for me though. It's a fun vehicle, but it has its very limited use. And this is one of them uses. I want to get a decent time around here this year, or an okay time. I honestly don't know what that looks like yet. But I know all the strats. The only thing I could think of is trying to cut more off and doing a spin drift shroom, which I may do. I may learn that. But I know the strats that I can use around here. A lot of it is simply just getting the chain wheelies and just driving well, which, based on the Wiimmfi Streets, is going to be a tall order. But I think with some practice on this track, I think I can get okay at it. I just don't quite know what I'm going to do with cave driving just yet. I think I went for 3 MTs in this one on lap 1, but then I go for 2, lap 2 and 3. I feel like lap 2 might work better for me at the moment, whilst I still have to get better at my MTs, still have to properly get up to speed with soft drifts and stuff. Basically, the faster I get, like 3 MTs will just become more viable there. Because I'll have more time to work with that and to make it work. And just try not to get like hops over the cracks and stuff like that, you know, just general basic stuff here on Sugarland. I have no intention on learning the glitch here either. I will on some tracks, like I mentioned it on what did I mention it on? I think I mentioned it on Goldmine. But like MCW, CM, you know, maybe MG, like GV and stuff like that. Like I do want to learn some glitches this year, or not this year, sorry. I'm skipping ahead maybe to next year. Next year, maybe the year I start learning glitches. I'm not sure just yet. Might be 2028, to be honest. But yeah, this track I'm not interested in it. Ice Physics sucks ass, so anything other than my G on this track, I'm not gonna touch. And that kind of comes over to Shy Guy Beach as well. I got an improvement over the course of the year. Really just to get my old time out of the way. It just was kind of doing my head in. This time is way better. Definitely has a lot of room to improve as well still. I definitely can. I can include the pink ramp low as well, as just a small time save. But genuinely speaking, I don't know if I'm going to go for that. This track is okay to time trial on Magi. This track is awful on any other vehicle. Whether it's Spear, whether it's Flame Runner. Online, I hate this track so much. Like, it's up there with Gone. The only thing this track has going for it is time trials with Magi for me. So I'm going to just stick with Magi. To be completely honest, there are obviously other tracks that I'm going to learn strats on, and I'm probably not going to have very much fun. But this track is probably one that I will probably, if I don't improve it on Magi, I'm not going to improve it. Just being honest. This could become a legacy time for me. Simply because I know Spear's faster here, I just can't work with it. And I will have way bigger goals than Shy Guy Beach, if I'm completely honest. Like mentioning on Raceway, you know, like this, when I'm working on this track, I could be working on one that actually matters to me, and working towards goals that I actually want to get. So unfortunately, probably will not be improving this track anytime soon, unfortunately. Won't be improving Delfino this year either. I do want to improve it. This is a track I do want to grind out. It's one of my favourites. And I definitely think I can get a decent time around here. But once again, you know, I just have bigger goals on other tracks. This track, though, may be the first one I do. Just being honest, like after Dry. May even be before Dry, depending on how much time I have if I complete everything. Being completely honest, this was an okay run at the time. I can definitely be better now. I actually had sorry, I wasn't with my voice tonight. I have been talking though for a very long time, including doing a 24-hour stream in the middle of this. Currently about 10 hours into said 24-hour stream. So a lot of talking has been done tonight. Apologies if the audio, if my commentary in particular is a bit shit. But yeah, honestly, like I find that this track was okay to TT and I got a decent time. But when I was going for this, I was going for the Gold Star. And I almost beat it with a run where I missed the trick off of that ramp there, and I landed on the final boost panel, which was pretty funny to get actually. I think I was like a 10th off or something from completing that. So you know, it was kind of a fun time. It was a little bit frustrating because there was obviously, you know, it was like alignments and stuff, you know, just general things that usually end my runs is just alignments and general inconsistency. I hope that is something I can gain with time, but we shall see on that. Yeah, I think I can probably improve by a second at the very least on this track if I gave it a proper grind. A lot of my understanding from this game comes from when I grinded out the Akaruso, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Sorry if I butchered that. But his version of GBA Sky Garden, which is in CTGP, I saved like a good 10 seconds almost from grinding that track out over a year. So we shall see, though, but not this year for Delfino. I haven't watched this back since I said it because this is a one try. And this is not my actual PB, thank God, and it is absolutely horse shit. This track, oh my god. Oh my god. It's already starting. Oh my god, this is so bad. This track is by far my worst. and I've put off this track for so long because it's a tech track. When I TT, I want the tracks I prefer are ones where, for pretty much almost the whole of it, maybe bar a few things, but for the most part all of it, I like how everything is in my control. You know, if I fail a run, that's because I made a mistake. I don't like the idea that I'm failing a run because of QM, or because of some really like lucky strat that you have to do because it saves a stupid amount of time, but it's not consistent. I don't like that, and I just don't like tech tracks because of that. Because it just feels like there's way too much luck involved, and it just isn't fun to play for me personally. However, I have to bite the bullet. I am so bad at this track that somehow I've won 3 races on this online. But when this track is picked online, my first thought that goes through my head when I realise it's Waluigi's been picked is, well, I'm getting last. To me, it's still an instant last place. And yeah, I just need to get way better. I know I can get better by learning strats. So I have a long way to go on this track. This is by far my biggest project over the course of this year. I just want to be competent at the track. I don't want, so I can go online and be like, okay, you know, I have a decent chance. I don't want to just be like, okay, well, just get this off my screen because I know I'm going to do terrible. Like, it's a good track, like, I know it's a good track, but I just can't play it for the life of me. So that is the biggest plan this year. It's going to be the first plan this year as well. I think within the next week, I'm going to start live streaming attempts at it, maybe. But that might not happen. I might learn it off stream. We shall see what the plan is there, but it's definitely going to be the first track I work on, and it's the biggest plan over the course of this year. Anyway, Desert Hills time. Pretty sure this is an improvement compared to last year. I'm pretty sure I didn't do this cut. I honestly started this going for fast lap attempts because I just didn't understand the cut myself, and then I just started getting the cut. I don't know what I was doing differently, but I started just randomly getting the cut. So I decided to go for a 3 for 3 and improve my time by, I think, over a second. It may be even more. Maybe like a few seconds, I'm not fully sure. Got better luck as well on the double tricks this time around, but still some pretty sketch alignments and bad landings, which I know I can get better at. I think the only thing really is learning, actually learning the lucky cut, the lucky wheelie cut. I think I can improve just by trying to learn that. But see, it's lucky, so we shall see when it comes to that regard. But overall, though, I think I don't think I'm going to go for this track this year. Waluigi is going to be such a big challenge. Like, that cut was really good. That was a really sick cut. Although I don't think that was my best lap. I think lap 2 may have been my best lap. Let's have a look. Yeah, lap 2 was my best lap by 2/10. But that was still a really good cut. Yeah, Waluigi though, it's just going to be such a big challenge that that I think that it's going to be, I'm not going to have any time, just being completely honest. Another new entry onto the timesheet, BC3, no shortcut. Trash run. I am going to come back to this year because I'm actually going to come back to this, and I'm also going to do a shortcut time because I need to learn the shortcut right here, and I also need to get more consistent with lows. The low tricks are absolute trash in the world. I hate doing it. It's such a fun strat on other tracks to do lows, but for some reason on this track it's just awful because you're pulling off half the time. And you're doing exactly the same thing each time, and it just seems like you're just like getting like QM. I'm sure there's something I'm doing wrong. I'm sure it's very simple. I'm like hopping too late, or I'm not at the right speed or something. But I think a lot of people do side tricks actually to make them more consistent. So maybe that is something that I have to do. But I want to get better at those, and then I also need to learn the shortcut, which will help me out a bit online. But I want to get the. I think I'm gonna go for the gold star. I think that's my goal for the shortcut category. Probably not gonna be something I do till like the end of the year though. Anyway, just because it's not like a crazy priority to learn all that. We shall see though. You know, like it all kind of like all my goals this year depend on what happens on Waluigi. Like if I literally would to just come away with a Waluigi time that looked decent and I felt like I was better at the track, I would be more than happy. Like I wouldn't do a Timesheet next year, but like I'd be way happier because I just have like a Waluigi time that I actually can look at and not want to immediately skip, you know, like so over the course of the year that's just the main focus. So if I don't get around to this year, that's okay. But I would ideally like to come back to this track, learn the lows a bit better, get more consistent. 4th flow, I'm not going to go for that, you know, the 4th flow is the 4th flow. The platforms are a little bit wider, so it's a bit more riskier to go for. And I think at my current skill set on this track, it's just not worth it. Not yet anyway. Maybe later on down the line, but not just yet. Parkway time. Not sure if I'm gonna go back to this year, because I know the time is a bit mid. I have some glaring errors. This was just to get the gold star, but I did enjoy this. Even with the shroom cut, I actually did quite enjoy it. The shroom cut is sketch, but like, you know, it's the shroom cut. Everyone knows the parkway shroom is not exactly ideal. I didn't find it to be too bad, to be completely honest. Lap 2's was pretty bad, but you know, other than that, I find it to be relatively okay. Just general cleanup really would be the goal on this track if I do come back to this year. It's definitely something I'll do next year because I do need to clean it up for sure. There's nothing really to learn besides like a wheelie on the turn after the cannon. Other than that, there's not really anything for me to learn around this track. If anything, maybe I go for glitch. I'm not quite sure, but the glitch could be like a track or a category, sorry, that I actually would rather go for. Just being honest. I think honestly, like a lot of tracks, it's like where it's like just general cleanup. If there's a glitch that I want to do, I'd probably rather do the glitch this year. Like that shroom was horrible. That shroom was terrible. But besides that, you know, I think it is literally just go for going general cleanup and then maybe the glitch. Honestly, like I don't know. I feel like that could be the right approach. Just being honest. But like I say, this is the kind of track where if I get around to it, I get around to it. Waluigi's the priority. And I know I'm repeating that a lot, but to be honest, there's not really much more to say because I haven't really improved any time because well, the year's just been very dormant for me. In time trials, I've not really played the game as much as I did in 2024 in general either, and most of the time I played worldwides for Wiimmfi Streets. I want to rekindle my TT spirit this year, and I think I'm definitely going to be able to do that, especially if I'm learning some bigger tracks. Last new entry, I'm pretty sure this is. Yeah, this is the last new entry into the timesheet this year. GCM Mario. An okay time. I could definitely do way better around here. But honestly, probably not going to this year. There's nothing for me to learn. Once again though, one of the tracks that if I do come back, if I do like get around to it, I will this year. I honestly have no idea what time I'd want to get just yet, but a decent time. regardless. Maybe like a second or two off, I think would probably be ideal. It's definitely rough around the edges, and I'm definitely getting QM'd a bit. Like, this track is literally named GCM slots by enemy for a reason. There's a lot of QM, a lot of luck based in this track. I very almost got piranha'd there. I honestly probably pixeled it. Like, it was kind of like a jump scare in the moment. So I probably have to avoid that and go down the middle when I come back to this. So I'll lose a little bit of time, but nothing. Honestly, no, nothing like major. Yeah, you know, just getting better at the track. You know, more practice, I think, would probably be the right port of call here. However, you know, it's an okay time for the time being. I'm okay with it. It's not perfect. There's a lot of bad landings, especially on that ramp, but that is fine for now. I've picked up my finger, and now my finger bleeds. Bear with, as I cover that up, just so it's okay. Last up. Okay, here we go. MC3. I didn't improve in the past year, and I don't have any plans this year, but it is going to be a track that I come back to in 2027. General cleanup again. However, to be completely honest, I would love to get a decent time on it. I'd love to get like worldwide tops, or at least a regional top. I think regional tops is probably something I could go for. Realistically, and this is one of the tracks I could do on. I think maybe regional tops is maybe maybe that's where my peak is, my potential. Who knows? But I think regional tops, maybe worldwide tops at a push, especially on this track. I think I can 100% do that. Actually, a lot about the speedrunning in general is about what you think you can do, and it's all about mentality. And I've definitely got into a mindset of like, world records are possible, because the game, like, everything's too refined, everyone's too good at the game. And everyone is very good at the game, but that doesn't mean that I can't be. And whilst, you know, I think a world record is maybe a tall order for my skill set, at least at the moment, I definitely don't want to rule it out. And I think that also then applies to worldwide tops and regional tops, and just getting general, like, you know, like, just because it's not a world record doesn't mean that isn't a massive achievement, you know. So I would love to get a decent time on MC3 at some point, and maybe regional or worldwide tops. Peach Gardens. I improved this over the past year. I finally cleaned up my run. That was the Gold Star run from 2023. Can't remember the exact time. Might be the 2-minute something, or 2:01 something maybe. But on this track, that might actually be quite high. Might be quite a good time. Yeah, that's actually a really good time. We'll see it after this. I improved by a few seconds. At the very least. Not going for the wheelie off the staircase yet. Maybe something I do in the future. I just really wanted to clean up the awful run that I had before this, where everything fell apart on lap 3. And actually, this PB I got on stream. I streamed this. It's definitely nowhere near my potential. I had like half-second better splits during that stream, so I know I can do a lot more here. Won't be this year, maybe next. To be honest, I might be stretching my 7 thin next year though. At this point, we shall see. Yeah, I know I can definitely do way more on this track. I can definitely do a lot more damage. Still sticking with Flame Runner. Flame Runner is now the best vehicle for the track. Even though right now I may be better off with Spear. Spear's just awful. I genuinely don't understand how anyone played with Spear on this track. Genuinely, I played it for like half an hour and gave up. Like, how do you genuinely use spear on here? I have no idea. Like, I applaud you for dealing with that god-forsaken combo of spear and peach gardens. Like, there's literally no soft turns on this track that you do. Like, the only one you use a shroom through. So, I have no idea how people have used spear on peach gardens. And then spear automatic. No, not for me at all. Speaking of not for me at all, DK Mountain. I like Waluigi to an extent. I have to get a time on this track. I have to. I want airtime on every track this year, which means TTing this. And I'm not gonna learn any new strats. However, I also know for a fact that I am gonna hate every single second of this because the track's just too bumpy for Wii physics. Like, I've played it in Double Dash, I've played it in 8, and the track plays so well. It's such a fun track to play in those games, but it's just does not suit Wii physics at all in the slightest. The track is way too bumpy, half the inputs don't come out, and with that in mind, I just don't find it fun to play. So, with that in mind, I've just put it off for the longest time. And now, unfortunately, I have to bite the bullet in order to get time on every track. I'm going to be completely honest, I probably won't put much time into this track. It will certainly won't be a one try, but it certainly won't be like a proper grind. To be honest, it may literally be do one PB on one day and then call it a day, knowing it's like really trash, but like that's okay just for now. But I also don't want this to become my worst track ever, you know, like I don't want this to become my worst track after I improve Waluigi. Ideally I'd like my worst track to be Goldmine, because it's just shit anyway. Although I think it probably will be Shy Guy Beach, to be honest. Once I have a decent time on every track, just because I'm using Magi on that. But yeah, I would like to at least just get time here, you know, just get it out of the way. May even end up being a legacy time. At least I won't be TTing this for a good few years afterwards. If the track works, and I get my inputs out, then 100% I would TT this. But unfortunately it just doesn't. And you know, what can I do? You can't just make the whole track sticky road now, you know? That'd be cheating. Here we go. The final track. I have been talking on this recording alone for almost an hour and 10 minutes. Oh, I don't know if my mic picked that up, but my stomach made a weird noise. Sorry about that. RBC. I didn't improve this over last year. And I don't know whether I will this year, to be honest, because this is one of my favourite tracks to play. I would absolutely love to grind this out, and I 100% will grind this out. I want to learn the Superman there. I want to get better at the ending cut, which I don't think I do on this run. I'm pretty sure I don't. Let's have a look. Do I do it? No, I don't. Okay, yeah, so I'd want to get better at the ending cut as well, which I'm not like consistent at the moment at all. But to be completely honest, this is a track where I don't know if I'm gonna have time for it. Like other tracks, if Waluigi I can learn that quickly, then 100% I will come back to this year and I will get a good time. But I'm honestly not sure if I'm gonna get around to it, because it seems like such a silly thing, but I'm so far off on Waluigi. I think it's gonna be a 6-month grind to get a decent time on Waluigi. If I struggle to learn strats, it's 100% gonna be around that ballpark. So yeah, this track all depends on Waluigi, like other tracks as well. And you know, I could definitely get a decent time here. I think it would be possible for me to get a 133, maybe even a 132 at the very least. Not this year for sure, but like a little bit like medium to long term. I would love for worldwide tops in this track, hands down. Um, Not sure if that's gonna happen though. People are cracked at this track. Like DDR, people are just cracked at this track. I can prove that already. I forgot about that actually. I did not realize that was in this run. Yeah, people are cracked at this track. And it's gonna be a hard, tall order, but that's something that I want to go for at some point. So that is my times currently. That is my goals for the upcoming year. Fingers crossed that I will be able to get at least some of them, hopefully all of them, and I will see you very soon.